Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Powell Press. I'm State Senator Bobby Powell, Jr., representing Senate District 24 in Palm Beach County. And boy, do I have some important information to share with you over the last few weeks. Some of the things that you may have missed with regard to what's happening in our office and what I'm doing in the community. But also, I want to tell you about the voting law here in the state of Florida that was recently passed and went into effect on July 1st. What has happened in the courts to kind of halt that law? And let's not forget, I want to give you an update on what's going on with regard to the Supreme Court of the United States. I mean, things like preventing somebody who's LGBTQ from being able to choose a wedding website designer, or the promises that the president made of, relieving some student loan debt also being denied. But let's not also forget about this affirmative action. The changes to affirmative action in college admissions was also attacked by the Supreme Court of the United States. That and much, much more in this edition of the Powell Press. Well, let's get right down into it. Let's talk about on Monday, June 26th, I had the opportunity to speak to youth at the Youth Empowered to Prosper, who provide evidence-based one-to-one mentoring for students in middle and high school. Their mission is to develop the power, mindset, and skill set within youth to rise above the challenges, chart a path to prosperity, and grow into the leaders of tomorrow to create a better world. Now, that day, my team and I had the opportunity to talk to these students, and it was amazing because I could see within them the power that lies for these students to be the next generation of leaders here in the state of Florida, but also in this nation. Now, on that same day, my team and I had the opportunity to provide a legislative update to the city of West Palm Beach. I was joined by Representative Gervonta Edmonds in the city of West Palm Beach, where Commission Chair Shalonda Warren and the commissioners of West Palm Beach allowed us to give a legislative update about the $116.5 billion budget that was recently passed, what was in that budget for the city of West Palm Beach, including road projects, and what was cut from the city of West Palm Beach, a mobile command vehicle, and also the legislation that we passed and worked on together. What an amazing time it was. Conspicuous by his absence, the mayor was not able to join us, but he was the one who provided us the opportunity and the platform to speak to the city of West Palm Beach on that day. Thank you, Keith James, and thank you, Commissioner Shalonda Warren, for your hospitality and for the update to the city of West Palm Beach. It was great to be in the commission chamber. On Tuesday, June 27th, myself and State Representative Gervonta Edmonds were joined by Alex Anderson for a legislative update to Payne Chapel. Now, this was a group effort that was put together by amazing organizations, including Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, I believe the AKAs, the League of Women Voters, as well as the Black Chamber of Commerce here in West Palm Beach, and a number of other organizations to make sure that we were able to provide to the community the direct impact of legislation that would go into effect on July 1st. This was our opportunity to speak about a number of those issues. Our topics included guns, abortion, as well as the budget and what's next in terms of African-American history and African-American people here in the state of Florida when it comes to this legislature and this government. It was an exciting opportunity to go directly to the people. It was covered by the Palm Beach Post, but it was also covered by your community because it was live streamed from Payne Chapel. Thank you to Pastor Odell Watson for opening your church up to us, and thank you for the community organizations for providing us the opportunity to speak with you. Now, on Wednesday, June 28th, was the Palm Beach County League of Cities General Membership Meeting. It was held at the City of Riviera Beach Marina. What an exciting time. This was an opportunity to bring the League of Cities and municipal leaders from all over the county to Riviera Beach, where they really did it up big. It was our first chance for the president of the League of Cities, the new president, Councilwoman Julie Botel, or Dr. Julie Botel, to showcase what Riviera Beach has to offer. Shout outs to the city commissioners in Riviera Beach, Councilman Trodrick McCoy, or the city council people, Councilman Trodrick McCoy, Councilman Doug Lawson, Councilman Kashamba Miller Anderson, Councilwoman Dr. Julie Botel, the mayor, Ronnie Felder, and so many more for this amazing opportunity in Riviera Beach for the League of Cities. It was an island theme, and the food was, as they say, good. Exciting time to Riviera Beach for the League of Cities, I'll tell you that. Now, next on the agenda was the FAU Stiles and Nicholson Brain Institute tour on Friday, June the 30th. This was an amazing opportunity to see what cutting edge research is going on here in Palm Beach County with Florida Atlantic University, and an opportunity to see where our students will continue to get an amazing STEM education and be able to be the doctors and leaders of this nation in the future. On July 1st, it was the Heart and Soul Festival down in West Palm Beach, right across from the Sunset in Heart and Soul Park. It was an amazing concert being given while there were food, there were vendors, and it was exactly that, the heart and soul of West Palm Beach. I had the opportunity to meet with some of the new tenants that were going to be going into the Sticks, which are the new retail facilities right there in that area, as well as to see some of the amazing things that are going on in terms of development and growth of that particular area of West Palm Beach. I'm excited to see the changes, and I'm excited to see what is going to be happening in the next few years over there at Heart and Soul Park. It was a Heart and Soul Festival, barbecues, brews, and blues. Blues, not booze. Wow. Exciting. Thank you to the city of West Palm Beach for putting on that amazing event. And here we go. And what some people would consider great news here in the state of Florida, the assault on voting. Senate Bill 7050, the latest voting bill in the legislature, or the latest attack on rights to vote, has been enjoined by the United States District Court of the Northern District of Florida, and that's in Tallahassee. So Judge Walker granted a request by the NAACP to preliminarily file an injunction enjoining the enforcement of Senate Bill 7050. The reasons this was done is because the Florida, of course, latest assault on voting, the plaintiffs moved to preliminarily enjoin this based on the fact that it bars non-citizens from registering citizens to vote, thus discriminating based on alienage. And it goes on to say that one of the most questionable classifications in equal protection jurisprudence. The other reason that it was enjoined, or basically stopped for a moment, is it exposes individuals working for third-party organizations to being potentially considered felons, or puts them at risk for felony charges. For those reasons, this has been enjoined by the courts. It's one small victory that could be a larger victory when it comes to the courts here in the state of Florida and the laws that we passed in the legislature this year. And then it comes to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been rather busy lately, and busy not in a good way, at least not in a good way if you're somebody who is a friend of this country or a friend of the nation. Well, the Supreme Court, as conservative as it's gotten, has done three things. One, a 6-justice majority agreed that Colorado cannot enforce a state anti-discrimination law against a Christian website designer who does not want to create wedding websites for same-sex couples, because doing so would violate her First Amendment right to free speech. So her First Amendment right to free speech also allows her the ability to discriminate against someone based on what could be considered race or sex or class. Is that what we're doing here in the United States now? Now, the Supreme Court has even gotten more bolder. One of the other things that the Supreme Court was able to do was strike down affirmative action. And that has happened in college admissions. The decision that race cannot be a factor, and forcing institutions of higher education to look for new ways to achieve diverse student populations. We've already seen the attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion here in the state of Florida, but you're now going to see this attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion nationwide. So the court's conservative majority overturned affirmative action plans at Harvard and at the University of North Carolina, the nation's oldest public and private colleges, respectively. But wait, there's more. So the Supreme Court also decided in a 6-3 decision Sounds familiar? Starting to sound like a trend here, right? That the conservative majority derailed a major campaign from the president denying relief of roughly 40 million Americans who had up to $20,000 in student loan debt that could have been wiped away. This is the Supreme Court that we've gotten, and it's getting a little bit more challenging. Remember, when you vote or when you don't vote, you have consequences. And then on July 4th was Independence Day, America's birthday. Celebrating independence here in America, I had the opportunity to join Mayor of Boynton Beach, Ty Penserga, and the council members, as well as HR Director Ms. Tennille DeCoste. Myself and my family enjoyed a wonderful time. It was food, fun, and laughter in the city of Boynton Beach. It was amazing and exciting to see the fireworks and to see the faces of the many residents in attendance at this great event on July 4th. And ladies and gentlemen, this concludes almost our time here with you for the next edition of the Powell Press. But I do want to take just a moment to recognize the life of Mr. Reverend Dr. Randolph Bracy Jr., who passed away on Father's Day. He is the father of Senator Randolph Bracy, as well as the father of Miss Representative LaVon Bracy Davis, who share a father, and we share in their mourning of their father, and his celebration of life was on July the 1st. We take this time to honor his memory and to recognize his children, as well as his wife, Mrs. LaVon Bracy. With that being said, everyone, this is the Powell Press. I want to thank you all for joining us. Please hit that like button, share, and also leave a comment to let us know that you've watched the video and you've been excited. Give us some ideas on what you'd like to see in the future, but also catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. With that being said, a life of service is indeed a life that counts, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Powell Press.